is pavement material and its characteristics. Okay, before starting to know about pavement materials, first of all we should know what is pavement. So let's start with the initials. What is pavement? So there are few definitions, or we can say few words which define the pavement. The first is any paved surface or paved area is known as the pavement, or else we can say a raised paved or asphalt path for pedestrian at the side of road is also known as pavement. The another one is that the hard surface of a road or a street which allow vehicle to pass over it is also known as pavement. Okay, now pavement is subjected to various conditions. If you are designing a pavement, then at that moment you have to consider a lot of loads, a lot of conditions. But if we focus on the major conditions which affect in pavement design, those are: first is weather changes, next impact loads, and the imposed loads. These three conditions are very crucial while you are designing a pavement. So if we talk about a highway pavement, then we can say a highway pavement is a structure consisting of superimposed layers of processed materials above the natural soil subgrade, whose primary function is to distribute the applied vehicle loads to the subgrade. The pavement structure should be able to provide a surface of acceptable riding quality, adequate skid resistance, favorable light reflecting characteristics, and low noise pollution. The pavement structure should provide such kind of facilities to move or to flow smoothly over the pavement. The ultimate aim is to ensure that the transmitted stresses due to wheel load are sufficiently reduced so that they will not exceed bearing capacity of the soil subgrade. So pavement should not undergo excessive deformation and settlements, because the differential settlements leads to failure of pavement. So improper design of pavements leads to the earlier failure of pavements which affecting the riding. Hence, high compressibility and plastic properties are not desirable for pavement construction. So for that, good quality of soil is required. We have two types of pavements. Those are generally recognized as serving above mentioned purposes, namely flexible pavements and rigid pavements. So this was the overview of the pavement. Now, an ideal pavement should meet the few requirements which fulfill the purpose of providing pavement also. So what are the requirements? The first is the pavement should have sufficient thickness to distribute the wheel load stresses to a safe value on the subgrade soil. The basic purpose of the pavement surface is the kind of load which is affecting on it, it has to be safely distributed to the subgrade soil, to the natural soil. So this only possible when the pavement will have the sufficient thickness. Next is pavement should be structurally strong to withstand all types of stresses imposed upon it. The pavement should have that much of strength, that much of strongness, so that it can withstand over all type of stresses. The next is adequate coefficient of friction. The pavement should have adequate coefficient of friction to prevent skidding of vehicles. Sometimes the pavement, the provided pavement is very smooth, which will skid the vehicle, so that there may be the possibility of accident. So what it says that your pavement should have adequate coefficient of friction, so that it will not detach, it will not allow your vehicle to be skid on the surface. Wherein next requirement says that pavement surface should be so smooth to provide comfort to road users even at high speed. Also, the smooth surface or the purpose to provide a pavement is also that vehicle should be run in at high speed or at convenient speed. Okay, so this should be also fulfilled where you are providing pavement. So the pavement surface should be so smooth so that user can use it with high speed. Next is long design life. Your pavement should have long design life with low maintenance cost. Long design life is also important, but there should be with low maintenance cost. Next requirement of pavement is that pavement should produce least noise from moving vehicles. It has been observed that roadway noise is the collective sound energy emanating from motor vehicles. It consists chiefly of road surface, tires, engine, aerodynamic and the braking elements. Also, it observed that noise of rolling tires driving on pavement is found to be the biggest contributor of highway noise, which increases with higher vehicle speed. So the pavement should produce least noise. Next requirement of the pavement is that the pavement surface should be dust proof surface, so that traffic safety is not impaired by reducing the visibility. The next is impervious surface. The surface of pavement should be impervious, so that subgrade soil is well protected. So the pavement surface should be impervious, because rainwater or any drain water will not enter to the subgrade soil, because if the water enters into the subgrade soil, it will lose or it will increase the water level at the bottom layer of the pavement, and which lead to failure of pavement. So these are the main requirements of an ideal pavement. Next, we will look for what are the types of pavement? As we discussed earlier, that we have basically two types of pavement. The first is flexible pavement and second is rigid pavement. This classification is done on the basis of structural performances. Okay, in flexible pavements, wheel loads are transferred by grain to grain contact of aggregates through the granular structure. The flexible pavement having less flexural strength and it acts like a flexible sheet. As an example, we can say our bituminous road. On the contradictory rigid pavements, the wheel loads are transferred to subgrade soil by flexural strength of the pavement, and the pavements acts like a rigid plate. As an example, the cement concrete roads. In addition to these, composite pavements are also available. A thin layer of flexible pavements over a rigid pavement is ideal pavement with most desirable characteristics. Sometimes such kind of pavement is to be constructed, and also sometimes if flexible pavement is got damaged and we need to provide a overlay, sometimes we provide kind of cement concrete surface, or sometimes in the rigid pavements if it gets fail and we need to resurfacing, at that moment we can also make an overlay of a bituminous material. So however, such pavements are rarely used in new construction because of high cost and complex analysis required. So that such composite pavements are rarely used in the practical life. Now, after briefly explaining types of pavements like flexible and rigid pavements, next we will move to the cross-sectional view of both the kind of pavement. What are the layers we are constructing to construct flexible pavement and rigid pavement? So pavement surface or pavement is consist of different layers, as we talked, and the major layers are subgrade, subbase, base and wearing course. Embankments are the natural soil which is existing at the bottom of the surface, which is known as the embankments. Next is the upper surface is known as the subgrade. Sometimes we provide a compacted subgrade with the layer thickness of 150 to 300 mm. Next is subbase. Subbase course, standard thickness of subbase course is between 100 to 300 millimeters. The base course is the next layer of after the subbase, is also containing 100 to 300 mm thickness. And next is binder course and surface course. The combination of binder course and the surface course is sometimes we are considering as a surface course, or we can say the wearing course, which contain the binder material or at the top surface. Here all these different types or different layers consist different types of material. Okay, now if we talk about a typical conventional flexible pavement, then the layers are seal coat, surface course, tack coat, binder course, prime coat, base course, subbase course, and then compacted subgrade, and after that the last layer would be natural subgrade. Yes, so here we have this tack coat, seal coat and prime coat as a new kind of parameter. So what is seal coat? First of all, we will start with the seal coat. The seal coat is a thin surface treatment used to waterproof the surface and to provide skid resistance. As we talked earlier in the requirement of ideal pavement, we need a kind of surface which provide the users from, or which provide the skid better skid resistance. Yes, so for that we are applying seal coat. Next is tack coat. Well, tack coat is a very light application of asphalt. Usually asphalt emulsion dilute with water. It generally it provides proper bonding between two layers of binder cores, and it must be thin, uniformly cover and set very fast. The next layer we are providing is a prime coat. Okay, prime coat is an application of low viscous cutback bitumen to an absorbent surface like granular basis on which binder layer is placed. It is also providing bonding between two layers. Unlike tack coat, prime coat penetrates into the layer below plugs and voids and forms a watertight surface. So basically we can say that the tack coat and prime coat are provided for bonding, for providing bonding between two layers. So this is what till the pavement cross section, and what are the layers we are constructing to construct a particular pavement. Thank you.